Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right, just watched a movie called Knox Goes Away. I don't want to say I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it. It was just, I don't know. Some TNT would play.
Yeah. I don't want to say I didn't like it, but I also don't want to say I liked it either. I don't feel comfortable saying that either. This was like the tail end of the movie, like the build up was pretty good, but the tail end of the movie just
No, it was not.
lackluster, man. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, man. It felt predictable.
Yeah, very
And
predictable.
all of a sudden, when Michael Keaton, aka John Knox, and he basically, you know, gets himself or makes himself, look like the killer of the Aryan Brotherhood guy.
Yeah.
Where he sets himself up, right?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, all the problems in the world go away, like magically. Like I don't know, it's just weird. Like I get it, like he did some sort of sacrificial thing. Thus, you need some sense of like oh, we're supposed to like something good came as a result, but the good results don't seem to tie to him doing that. All it did was get his son out of jail, right? But it cuts to Al Pacino dancing with his sexy Russian wife or wherever she is, right? It cuts to family time where James Marsden's playing fucking Scrabble
Well,
with his
let me tell you
kid.
this. The movie felt like it was well paced, well thought out, and then the last 30 minutes felt super rushed. Would you agree with that or disagree?
I don't know if rush is the right word for that. I think it was just maybe you're right. Maybe rush is the word. I don't know.
Well, not well executed. How about that?
It's like it felt like they took their time giving me something
Yeah.
absolutely mediocre. That's what the ending was. Like they took
Yeah.
their time giving me mediocre results.
I think the turning point where it got trash was when he went to the cabin. From that point on, it became like okay, you guys are smelling like you guys are trying to rush to the end.
Yeah, I don't think rush is the right word, man. It's something else because like the pacing of the scenes are nicely paced. It's just the conclusions they leave you with make you feel like you missed out on something. Like something's missing here. But maybe it's rushed in that sense of it.
Well, yeah, rushed in the sense of you were very methodical and very carefully trying to orchestrate a story, and then towards the end, it's like you abandon that to close out the story.
It's like they got to a point where you're like they put you they take the audience and they put you in a scenario where it's like, well, how the fuck are you gonna get out of this one? Like, how are you gonna get out of this shit?
Yeah.
And then from there on out is where the movie starts sucking ass because it starts getting predictable.
Yeah.
Like, we predicted pretty early on that like oh, he's gonna take the blame for his kid. For James Marsden.
That's what you felt was gonna happen.
For Pickle Boy's defense team. I mean, it felt like everything. It felt like a pretty cheap ending, like just something where they're just trying to tie a bow together, Just tie the bow and put it on the fucking thing, and here you go. There's your fucking present. That's what it seemed like. Like this guy does this one act, and all of a sudden, all other conflicts are instantly resolved as a result. And it's like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, yo, his daughter like was into the brother Aryanhood or Aryan
Yeah.
Brotherhood fucking guy, and she's like rebellious about it too. Like he didn't do anything to me. I was into it too. Like in a cop confession
Well,
room.
yeah. The daughter, the ex-wife, the wife of his son, they don't really matter. They're not like
But they
you
gave
could
them
even.
conflict points. They gave them points of conflict
Yeah.
within the movie. Then they said, "Never mind, they're all happy now. Now that John Knox is in jail and lost his fucking mind, and his mind's
Right.
gone. Like everything's happy now."
There was a lot of like good things in it, but at the same time, there were a lot of like I don't know, shortcuts taken.
Yeah. Well, there's some weird character things in here. The son was just like the guy trying to do good, right? He's like, I'm the good dad, and the only like he fucked up, right, in a moment of rage, killing the Aryan Brotherhood dude because he
Yeah.
fucking basically raped his daughter
Yeah.
or statutory rape, whatever the fucking term is, right? So he like had a moment of rage and he fucking killed that dude. Okay, got it. But you know, in another sense, he's like supposed to be like the try to do good guy, right? Like
Yeah.
he's trying to be the good guy type thing. So why is he always like with no like? Where's the sense of like, oh fuck, like my dad didn't actually do any of this, and I'm just like, I'm just going along with the plan. Like once he realized that the dad was trying to take the fall, he just went all along with it, like
Yeah.
without hesitation. Like he leaned into it and shit. He leaned into it pretty hard, and it's like,
It
gee,
was,
like, show me
it
some sense
was
of
yeah, it
like
was
I
like a
feel
light
bad about this.
switch. It's like flipping a light on. Like it was he was in the dark and then he was like totally on par with okay, I know everything's going on and I'm on board for the plan.
Yeah,
There was no like realization or like any acknowledgement like oh shit, he did this for me.
yeah,
They tried to like perceive that, but it was kind of felt like a trope.
yeah.
Like he's like, oh, why would your father frame you? And then that's all it took for him. That's a little, it's a little too simplistic. It's like you went through all the trouble to make this super complicated plan, and then like when it's finally reached its fruition, like the payoff seemed like oh like this is really like not sophisticated. It's not I don't know if that's the right way to look at it, but not it wasn't like the payoff didn't hit like it should have hit for such a good like for such an elaborate plan.
Nah, I don't think it did. It was just he made it look like he got sloppy or because he's losing his
Yeah.
mind or whatever, and he just used all that, like set all that up.
And that's why I was saying like, oh man, I can't like I don't like how she's like going along with it. Like even if it kind of looks like she's not, like even her like there should have been like scene where like she's talking to her partner like, yeah, I don't. This is all bullshit. I don't believe none of this. But that none of it, I don't know. That's why I felt like it was rushed. Like there was no time to breathe when the plan finally happened. It was just oh boom 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 happened after it. Like there was no time to contemplate. Like is this actually the truth?
Well, yeah, good point. And also, I think, like I said, like when you were saying rush, like something like intuitively, I'm like, I don't think that's the right word. What I think it was the character changes. It was the characters just turning into something else.
Yes.
Like immediately. From the detective who's supposed to be like hard nosed, like looking into all this shit, all of a
And then
sudden
she
is
just she
accepting
fell
this.
off. Yeah, she fell off.
The son is supposed to be like he's supposed to be different than his dad, right? But he has like some traits of him. He's supposed to be like a little different to where like he'd be emotionally wrecked that
Yeah,
like he finding out that his dad just took the blame for all that shit. The daughter who was rebellious is now playing Scrabble with the parents on
yeah.
Friday night. Uh, who else? Jesus Christ.
But I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. That's why dialogue is so important. Some of those things you just mentioned were glossed over in the story from its inception. The daughter, like the character, certain character changes with the daughter, the father, the cop. It's like they went three-quarters are finished and then they stopped going after that. When like this character's this, and then when something else happens, like they become it's like they become totally like non-factors. They're just going with the flow of what the story wanted you to do through dialogue. If
Yeah.
that makes any sense, like the way the it's like I don't know, man. There's a way you perceive a character to be, and then there's the story being told, and
Yeah.
then they metamorphose from the character they are into what the story is trying to tell you by the end of the movie.
Yeah. What was Marcia Gay Harden, the ex-wife? She's like, oh,
Yeah,
like she still loved him, right? But she's also like, I don't want your money either.
yeah.
Like,
And then she
at
got the money
at the end
anyway.
of the movie, she walks away with a big smile, holding that check up,
Yeah,
fanning her face with it. Like, what
yeah.
the shit, bro? Fucking what else?
The
Uh,
Russian chick had the most character development.
of the biggest arc, possibly.
Yeah, yeah,
He might have actually had the biggest arc in this entire movie, where she's like kind of unknown, but you could tell she's like whatever, a prostitute for him, right? And
yeah,
then, but then it's like now she finds out he has some sort of disease. She sees it in the book, right?
yeah.
Even that didn't fucking make sense because she
Even
could
then,
she could have took advantage of that. Instead, she just hires a couple goons to go in there and try to
yeah.
like muscle that shit away from him when she could have just like yo, this dude's losing his mind, so I could just fucking
Let me let me
like
get real close to him. Yeah,
yeah, I could just siphon shit. He won't even fucking
yeah.
notice, bro. He's losing his mind. Good God. Uh, here's something that happened in this movie that was interesting and also hilarious and also stupid. Uh, Al Pacino, when he's talking to
Yeah.
Michael Keaton on the phone, he's like, "Listen, if you want to get this plan done, you gotta be perfect. It's gotta be perfectly executed, like it's some sort of extravagant plan." But really, it's just it wasn't.
It's a simple plan. Yeah, it's a simple
It
plan.
wasn't some complicated shit that we couldn't figure out. We were guessing it way before it even happened.
Yeah. Like
Fuck.
what's it called? Him framing him with the shirt and the knife.
Yeah.
It's like that was more complicated than what happened after that.
Yeah. Well, we were like, why is he doing this shit? Is he? We didn't. I didn't have the thought at all that he was doing it to make his son be guilty so that he can, because he hates his son or
Yeah,
something like that. It was more
yeah,
of like, oh, there's some sort of deeper plan here
yeah.
that he's got.
How's he gonna flip this around for him?
But it's just like he goes to the prison, he visits his son, and he says, "Oh, I'm getting revenge on you for because you got me locked up for tax evasion or some shit like that. You know what? I got you back." He like,
Which is really, yeah, that's really tacky. It's really,
yeah, it's not a big payoff at the end of the fucking movie. Uh, it's just lackluster. Uh,
I don't know why this movie reminds, like towards the end, reminds me a lot of Law Abiding Citizen, bro, where it's just like, just like fucking like I don't know, like stupid turn of events happen.
yeah, I mean the good shit they did in the movie looks actually does look
Yeah.
stupid now compared because of where it ended
Yeah.
up at.
I was kind of worried, like when his son just showed up with his cut hand. I'm like, oh, this is even that felt like, oh, it's kind of tacky. Like, there should be like, I feel there should be a scene before this. Like you could even show the scene where he kills a guy and then he's like, fuck, what do I do? Who do I turn to?
Yeah,
I felt like that would have helped the story out a little more.
I
Like,
agree.
fuck, what do I do? What do I do?
I agree. But if you can't,
Like yeah, like you as simultaneously as he's learning about his diagnosis, you're learning about what his son's daughter's doing, and then when he finds out, like
yeah,
I don't know, could have definitely done that.
I
Didn't
agree.
have to be exactly like that, but
I agree.
some semblance of that, just to like make it make more sense. It
I
still wouldn't have
100%
fixed the ending. It wouldn't have fixed the
agree.
ending.
That was what they gave us. Now it wouldn't have fixed it, but I 100% agree with what you're saying. And if they can do that in like a concise way, to where like it actually hits home without expanding your duration of your movie, right? Because I would think
Yeah,
like like a kind of a dumb writer, their idea would be like, okay, we need to add, if we want to do Anthony's plan, we need to add an hour to the movie, making it
no, I
a
wouldn't say
3 hour
that.
movie like this.
I
Like,
wouldn't say
no, it's
that.
like, no, you don't need to do that. No, that's what I think. That's what I think a lot of people would be thinking of what they would have to do
Uh,
instead of using like techniques to like get a story
well,
through to the
well,
audience
let me
without
ask you this.
that.
Let me ask you this. What the fuck was the point of him killing his partner and that whole shower scene? It led to nothing in the grand scheme of things.
It got Yeah, I guess that's the one of the early signs to himself that he's like losing it. Oh no,
Well,
he already
okay.
went to the doctors, right?
Yeah.
And then this
Yeah,
shit
he went
happened.
to the doctor. And before that, he was like forgetting where his car was. He was forgetting this. He was forgetting that. And then he went to the doctor. And then that got paid off. Like, oh, you're forgetting shit.
Yeah, like man, what did that? Like, oh, the only thing I can think of is for the interrogation scene
Well, it was to
to keep
show
us
you, like,
guessing.
oh, like, it was to show, like, oh, shit's not going good for him, like, memory wise. But either way, like, I don't know. It was,
You got to think like the
like,
writer, Anthony. They
in
like right.
hindsight, go ahead.
Well, you got to think like the writer. They wrote that scene so that we end up in an interrogation scene later on in the movie, to where they're
But
asking him
even that
questions.
felt, yeah, even, okay. And then yo, so he lied under oath about his name. Did that come up? No.
He didn't lie. He didn't remember his middle name, bro.
Yeah, you didn't remember no one like that. Come on, bro. She didn't know that. And, and he didn't say he had dementia.
True.
And he still walked out of there like he basically admitted he killed him. And he still walked out like, yeah, like,
It's like I could have. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? He walks away.
I never seen an interrogation like that.
Yeah, I was like,
And when the
true, but
last words this guy utters is, "Yeah, I could have and I could have not." Like what? Even OJ would have said some shit like that.
that was an excuse to put philosophy into the movie. I think that's my guess. That was an excuse to do that. Like they said,
Yeah,
like he was when he was in the army or whatever, or the military,
he
he'd
was a
he
reconnaissance. Yeah,
yeah, he'd read philosophy books. So they gave him. I forgot what the nickname
yeah.
was. They gave him a nickname because he
Aristotle.
Aristotle. There we go. Yeah, because he'd read philosophy books. I'm like, I think that was just an excuse to like put that in there to show that he knows philosophy because he's read philosophy books. Like, got it, guys.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not that mad at that. I'm more mad at the way they, considering all the things we just complained about. The ending, the last third of the movie, I think is the downfall of the movie. It really is. Like where you can build up whatever the fuck you want to, but where you lead me to is probably the most important thing. where do we get to at like when we're ready to like, stop the fucking bus? Like where do we get to? Where do you lead me to? And if that's a fail, your movie's usually a fail. So it is what it is. Grades.
I gotta give it a 7.3.
7.3. Oh. Or do you want to put words behind that? Or that's just your grade? You're just going with
Well, it was like high sevens, and then it was like, oh man, that's fine.
it.
I had a good time. I had a good time with it. It's not bad, but it's average. It's like, oh, no, it's like, oh, it's a little better than average, and then it's like, oh, it's starting to become average, and then it's like, yeah, that's I had high hopes. I had high hopes in the first 30 minutes, and then
Me
it
too,
didn't come
actually.
crashing down, but it was a rocky landing.
Yeah, it's true. I'm gonna go with a 6.8, 6.9. We're in that territory. Pause.
Yeah.
I'm going there. It's below average, but is it the worst thing I've ever seen? No. Uh, could it be a fun watch? For sure, for a first time viewer.
It's a
But
good movie to fall asleep to be honest with you.
well, all right. Like I said, I will say this. If you got nothing to do and you want to just chill out, watch a movie, I recommend this movie. It's not the greatest thing ever, but it's enough for you to watch it and be able to pay attention to it, and then it's going to disappoint you. That's my honest opinion. It'll disappoint you at the end, but
It's a
watchable.
perfect movie to watch at TNT at 3 in the morning. It's a perfect movie. It had the vibes too. It had a lot like rainy nights or whatever, like nighttime.
Yeah,
I give up.
fair enough. All right. I guess that's it. Do you recommend it?
I recommend. Yeah, I recommend.
Okay. All right. There is our review. Knox goes away.